This is going to be fun today because right from the beginning we're firing 3 projectiles with no damage loss. We just need to find the right starting upgrade. Like Chain Projectile, your initial attack has a 1 in 4 chance to chain up to one enemy dealing 6 damage. And we're firing 3 bullets at a time, so that's definitely gonna help. And then we're gonna get Obliteration, dealing damage to enemies above 95% HP is a 25% chance to deal a quarter of the damage again. So already we're gonna be absolutely destroying everything. We're also gonna have a 5% chance to spawn a meteorite, that's gonna land on things and that's gonna hurt. We're also gonna have a 15% chance to conjure homing goo when we hit things. And we're gonna hit a lot of things. What we need to stack up is attack speed. I want this to fire like a machine gun. Nothing would stop us then. And our initial attacks pierce. I do also have a higher chance now of finding rare items. That's why we're finding as many rares as we are. And those are gonna stack. If we get those max level, those get stupidly strong. Enemies have a 10% chance to explode on death, dealing 6.6 AoE damage. So now we're already doing all sorts of different kinds of damage. Our bullets are going everywhere, enemies are exploding, and it's a giant chain reaction of doom. We're going to increase our attack speed by 10% right away. There's a few fun items there, but attack speed is important. Basically, every attack we do is contingent on us attacking, so the more we can attack, the better. We're also going to get double piercing. So when you see a mob of idiots like this, we're basically just going to melt through them like a shotgun. Your initial attack will fork into 2 projectiles, dealing a little bit of damage each. That's just going to be more hits going out. I don't know if those count as chance on hit things, but if they do, that's just more effects that they're going to land on idiots. Attacks have a 20% chance to spawn a row of spikes. We're getting a wide variety of different things so far. And we got our first mini boss coming in. We want to be sure to go up and deal with him right away because I want that upgrade because I'm greedy. So already his health is dropping very quickly because we're doing all sorts of different damage. We got a red upgrade, 3 times chain lightning. So that alone is, making us a lot stronger, as you can see. I also probably want to gain 5% more experience because we're still very early on. We get even more piercing. Now we get 3 times piercing. So every time we fire a shot, we're already firing like potentially 100 bullets with all this splintering and sharding and chaining and stuff. That's why the groups of enemies are disappearing. Okay, we're going to get like super piercing now. Your initial attack will pierce 4 times. Consecutive pierces will generate a faster second piercing shot in the same direction, dealing 1.5 damage. And I'm pretty sure there's also going to cause a chance on hits because that's still my initial shot. So far that seems to be working well. Everything is absolutely getting destroyed. 25% chance to spot a chain of 5 lightnings, dealing all sorts of damage. Now I wish I turned on double enemies. We'd be getting double the experience and upgrades. And here comes another mini boss. This one has 820 HP, but he's gonna melt pretty quickly, especially if we can focus our shots on him. Mini boss is dead, and we're gonna get a 5% AoE radius. That's not super huge for us, but it is still gonna help. And now we get a real boss. He's just a big blob, and I think we're going to be able to melt him because he's not particularly clever. Between all of our different damage types, we should be able to just, go right through him. And for that, we're going to get a 60% crit chance. That brings us to stage 2, where it looks like we're still well ahead of the damage curve. I'm still going to get a little bit more experience. That's going to add 7.5 experience gain, and over the next 10 hours, that's going to add up to a lot of extra. I've got a mini boss coming in, but I'm going to get an extra 10% experience on top. That's just going to be super investment, and I've never leveled that up all the way. That might start to develop special effects, and that would be really cool. For now, we're just going to absolutely obliterate this mini boss, who is now dead. And then we got a 5% damage increase. That was a pretty low option there, but that's still 5% extra damage to everything we're doing. That's actually huge. Since our critical strike chance is so high, each critical strike has a 20% chance to cause slashes, causing extra damage again. Here's the sort of thing I was looking for. Gain 30% more experience. When picking up an XP orb, there's a chance that it duplicates. And that should still evolve even further, but that's going to be a lot of extra experience. A lot, and we're still early on. And our damage is still more than enough for the current idiots. I hardly even notice them. They mostly disappear, and then I have to go find another horde. It's offering me the experience gain again, but I don't know if anything actually changes there. It's reading the same thing it did last time, so I'm going to stop touching that. I'm going to go ahead and get Obliteration. Damaging enemies above 90% has a 25% chance to deal 40% of that damage again. But I can increase my attack speed by 50%. Every time you attack, I have a 15% chance to get a stack of Frenzy, which will give me a 5% attack speed increase. So we're already starting to turn into a machine gun that fires a lot of piercing projectiles.
So now we just need to crank the damage up to 1000%. Then we'll really be getting somewhere.
But this build is very versatile already, because whether it's just pure damage or chance on hit, everything is going to be going off a lot. I know I said I wasn't going to touch this, but I am just curious to see if that changes. It reads 04 now. I'm also going to take one Dizzy Ball that deals 3.45 damage. That's just going to help with some of the enemies close to me, and it actually just fires extra projectiles. And the next boss has shown up, so we'll see how our damage is doing against that, and it's melting rather quickly, especially when the meteorites drop on it. And it's dead. Oh, and a mini boss just showed up behind it. That's perfect. We're going to get 2 times 30 crit chance. So I'm pretty sure our crit chance is going to be like 125% crit chance already. I forgot that was a thing. So every hit is going to be a crit. And then we just picked up a cool 40% damage multiplier, so that's also going to help. The orb duplicator does still work, because it was just a misreading last time. We were at 40, now we're moving up to 50% extra experience. Stage 3, we already have a mini boss coming in, so I'm really excited about that. We hopefully get more damage. It's one of those sucky octopuses, so it's trying to get me in, buddy. It's already dead, and we're going to just get some free items. One time, regenerate HP and take 5% less damage. That's a good one. That's an especially good one to get for free, because I probably wouldn't have bought that otherwise, but it is helpful. It's just not exciting. My initial attack will fork into 4 weaker projectiles. Not really sure how much of a difference that's making at this point, but it's very hard to see sort of what's doing what. There's just a lot of chain reaction and lightning and chaos. Attacks have a 10% chance to conjure a hailstorm. That's going to just throw even more projectiles out there. At some point, I'm going to have to start stacking up though, like upgrading these upgrades, because the base levels aren't going to be enough to carry me super deep. We have plenty of damage, but eventually the enemies are going to be tougher than we are. Your initial attack has a 75% chance to chain up to 3 enemies, dealing 6 damage. That's a good one, because now we're basically constantly having that chain go off. Enemies have a 2% chance to convert into a ghost when they die, so that's fine. That can upgrade too, so I don't know what the level 2 upgrade to that is, some kind of super ghost. Increase your attack speed by 65%. Every time we attack, we have a 25% chance to get a stack of frenzy that will increase my attack speed by 10% now. So we're very quickly turning into a very high-powered machine gun. We got a fast mini-boss coming in, so we're going to take all that for some upgrades for him. Enemies are going to have a 15% chance to explode on death, dealing extra damage, and then we're going to take out this mini-boss who is running toward us rapidly, but our bullets are actually pushing him back. And then we're going to get a 45% increase to AoE radius, and that's actually good because we do a lot of different AoE attacks by this point. The meteorites, the enemy death explosions by goo balls, and he comes with 3 upgrades. Give me 3 something. Okay, I'll take 2 of those. Those are 2 goo balls. Those can actually be really strong because those will absolutely glom onto bosses and destroy them quickly. Our base damage is 9.3. That's what we're firing out of our initial projectiles. We're going to need more damage out of that. Luckily, there's lots of mini bosses spawning, so they'll help us with that. This is the octopus one. I think the goo balls, well, everything's going to destroy him and push him back. Okay, we got 3 times whatever this is. Hard tranquilizing mass. Okay, apparently they float around me and stun enemies, kind of like a nice shield. They're going to stun enemies and knock them back, so it's just like a safety thing. Critical strike has a 40% chance, causing up to 2 slashes, dealing 75% damage again. And every hit we do is a crit, so oh, look at the boss's health go down. And he's dead. Which is going to reward me, oh, it could have been a 4 times. 2 times enhanced dizzy balls. So we're going to have 2 balls circling us, shooting idiots. It helps us keep us safe and does extra damage. I kind of lost track of what stage we're on, but so far we're still feeling pretty good. There's a lot of enemies around. Normally this would be very terrifying. I'm not at all worried though. Especially if we get 2 or 3 upgrades for like a select few items, we'll be really unstoppable for a long time. There's a few good items here. I'm actually going to upgrade the regurgitated goo because it turns into a pink item. Attacks have a 20% chance to conjure 3 goo balls. They can explode in a medium radius, dealing further goo balls. Look at all the goo balls. We're just firing nothing but goo now. And because of the AoE radius, they're actually giant too, so they're going to cause lots of damage to everything. The sound broke, but there is a mini-boss coming in. I just don't think there's too many sound things going off, so it didn't really register. Whatever the case, he's now dead, and we get an extra chain thing. So now every one of our attacks absolutely chains, and every chain it goes through, it does increase damage. And we got another mini-boss coming in. This is great. I want more mini-bosses. They're just free, easy upgrades. And they're easy to kill, considering we can just goo-ball them like that. Hopefully we get damage or attack speed. We get an extra 15% crit chance. That puts us up to like 150% crit chance, so that's fun. Wait, we might have been able to actually dissolve that. I forgot you could do that. I don't know if you can dissolve the wheel, but I need to remember to check. Attacks have a 20% chance of spawning around 9 spikes now. And given the extra AoE size, that's going to be extra good because the enemies are certainly going to get more numerous as time goes on. But I'm just going to keep wandering in big circles, picking up all the experience, and putting my slime all over the blobs. I would love to just hold still and kill them all, but then the things would rain mortars down on my head and kill me rather quickly. I do also have that yellow spirit following me around that will very slowly heal me. That's when my health is ticked back up to 8 consistently. My initial attack is 100% chance to chain 5 enemies, dealing 6 damage and additional 2 damage with each jump. That's a big one, because that was a big step up in chain damage. It's actually pretty insane how fast my experience bar is moving up at this point too, thanks to all my extra experience upgrades. Like, I think it's pretty uncommon to have this much experience still coming in at this point in the game. I could actually still take more, and I think I'm going to, so now we get a 60% experience plus whatever my permanent upgrades were, so we're probably at more like an 80% experience boost. We got a mini boss coming in. Once we get the slimes on him, he's definitely going to die. We'd also get a 20 times damage multiplier, and you can dissolve things at the bottom. I really need to remember that. Our base damage is now 10.5, and we have a 175% damage multiplier overall. Look at this upgrade. Increase your attack speed by 80%. Every time you attack, you have a 25% chance to get a stack of frenzy. Every 10th attack shoots twice. So that means my mega projectiles shoot twice every 10th attack. And we fire so often that happens a lot. So at this point, it'd be really nice to get that base damage up to really take advantage of that insane attack speed. But also just a chance on hits go off constantly anyway. And the bosses spawned in and they're dead. So our damage is definitely going up. And we got 2 times that, so we're going to take 10% less damage and regenerate HP faster. And a mini boss just spawned somewhere. I've got to find him right away and kill him before we get sucked into the next level. I saw a weird explosion to the left. There he is, 6,000 HP. Let's see how fast we can take him down. The goo balls aren't hitting him because we're pushing him back too far. That will come in handy later though when we need to push enemies away from us. For now, oh, don't die out there. Oh wait, we get an automatic thing anyway, that's fine. You can die wherever you want. I got to increase my attack range by 100. I think I'm just going to dissolve that for experience. That actually leveled me up, so now we get this stuff. I've never seen this one before because I've never upgraded that far. That basically gives me thorns and more toughness. I want more piercing. That also gave me more upgrades. I'm going to get 4 tranquilizing blobs because I think eventually that should evolve into something even better. We have a paltry 26,000 kills to our name so far. And we're starting to get more of the helmet wearing guys. They're definitely surviving for a second longer than the old ones, so I'm going to need more damage. I'm going to need a lot more damage because they're spawning in numerously and they're very quick. Luckily the slimes are up to the task of obliterating them. I think my chain attacks are really carrying me here too because there's so many of them going out, and the more they chain, the deeper in they penetrate and more damage they do. Plus every hit is a big critical hit. So that's not going to hurt. I just need more base damage. I still haven't really upgraded that in a while. The enemies right now are pretty constant. I'm being constantly bombarded by those things. There's constant enemies spawning in me, but I gotta take out the crab things right now. They're not that strong. Look at all the experience on the ground now, especially with all our boosters. That's going to be so much. Okay, I'm going to get the extra chain attack because each additional chain is going to do 3 damage and it's going to chain 6 times. So the chains are actually really going to do a lot of extra damage for me. I don't know why so many of the magnets are dropping. I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to take this advantage to be lazy once in a while. Finally got a mini boss to spawn in. He's down there to the right. We'll see if we can get over to him. Enemies are getting stronger though, so we're not able to just buzzsaw them anymore. The mini boss, especially once he's trapped against a wall, will die quickly because he won't get pushed out of the way of all my stuff. I can definitely feel we need more damage though, so hopefully this helps. We did get big spikes. We don't really get to see exactly what that means, but we can see them on the ground and they are quite big. Oh, okay, here we go. Attacks have a 20% chance of spawning 20 spikes, dealing 7 damage, and 2 bigger spikes, dealing 23 damage. So that's just more good old AoE and penetrating. Look at all the spikes. They like cover everything. Basically what I really need is a mini boss to spawn, and then on his wheel we get like a 4 times 40% damage increase. That would really put us over the top for a while. I'm actually just going to increase my damage by 15% because I'm pretty sure that applies to everything, so that's going to add a lot, especially with the crit multiplier. And suddenly we've jumped up to 40,000 enemies killed, but there's so many spawning in now that number's going to go up crazy fast. I haven't paid attention to DPS yet either, but I'm pretty sure we're getting some pretty big numbers at times, depending on how many of these things we're killing. There was 6,000 DPS for a second. Oh, this might be big DPS. We're going to dive right into the horde of idiots and see what we can get going off. 8,000 DPS, 9,000 DPS, perfect. And the boss has spawned in for us. Hopefully we'll get a rare upgrade off him, where we're just going to bully him with our spikes and meteors and goo balls. So we're going to get a 2x10 AoE radius. We're definitely going to dissolve that. We're better off just taking good old upgrades. There's an extra 20% damage. And then we could actually dissolve this for 8,000 experience, probably because these are here. Attacks have a 10% chance to conjure a meteorite, doing 42 damage. So we're going to get a lot more of those, and they're going to do big damage. I have it on good authority that those absolutely melt bosses because they spawn so frequently and hit so hard. They're going to absolutely shred whatever boss is in front of us, and just whatever tough enemy in general. And we got a mini boss coming in. This one's pretty quick, so I don't know how much the meteors will hit him, but either way he's going to die a horrible, horrible death. And then we get a gold upgrade, 2 times the slashing thing. That's good for crits, which we definitely do a lot of, so that just adds a lot of extra damage. We actually got hit by something there. I didn't really see what it was because, well, look at this. But that was sort of the first tough situation we found ourselves in so far. And we're at 50,000 kills already, so we're gonna be alright. I just need to stop being lazy at this point, start doing bigger circles. Our base damage is up to 13 now, so that's a big improvement over where it was. These guys wearing the helmets are really, really tough though. They're actually really resistant to all my damage so far. I'm gonna sit here and just fire into them because I need to get some consistent damage into all that with the chains and everything. I don't know how much health they have, but it's a lot. I just don't really want these guys to stack up with other enemies because they would be a big time tank that's gonna get in the way of me. We're already in kind of a bad spot. That's okay, we're going to slowly circle out of there and get into some of these weaker guys because I don't want them bullying me around, and we're going to sneak out the bottom. That's not great. It's crazy how strong these things suddenly get. We're going to sit here and rain down on them as much as we can, and I'm going to try and sneak out the bottom if I can, but this has got to be tight. Can I get out the bottom? Okay, we're going to move back and forth just to avoid the red dots dropping on our head. I'm going to see if we can pick up some of this experience to level up. Maybe we'll get a good upgrade that's going to help us, but we're in trouble. We're in trouble. We're maybe okay. We're in trouble. We're okay. Yeah, I don't know if we're in trouble or not. It's hard to say still. Okay, we're dead. We're in trouble. That escalates so quickly, but we did 2.1 million damage.